Hello and good morning. Welcome to Stamp and Chat. Bit of live stamping for you this morning. It's a bit dreary here in Gloucestershire. We've had a bit of rain, a bit of drizzle this morning. It's a bit grey, a bit damp, and it's gone a bit chilly as well. So, right, I'm just going to check that I'm live in the right place. And hopefully somebody will be joining me at least this morning. Not very central, am I? Getting the view right. So if you are joining me, please do say hello. I posted on my page earlier, for those of you that caught that, oh gosh, I've just realised I've not turned off my notifications. So good morning, Sarah. I am hoping this is not going to disturb the live this morning. I'm tempted to go out and come back in. Good morning, Katie. You're working from home so you can watch whilst you're working. Of course, multitasking. So I was just saying I've forgotten to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I'm going to go with it and hope that nobody rings, presses the intercom on the gate and throws me out. Good morning, Elaine. How are you doing? Of course, it's half term and I know some of you are off work this week. Right, so this morning, if you caught my post earlier, you will have noticed there's going to be a bit of brightness going on with my ink colours, and I was inspired by some DSP. So without further ado, good morning, Ellie. How are you doing? You've got a busy week with the children off. Yeah, so my colours were inspired from my DSP. Quite scary for me, and I'm not sure if I like my finished projects. In fact, I'm really not sure because I recreated them in colours that were more me. So we'll see. Katie, oh, I just caught that and then it went. You've been at your first music festival for nearly 3 years. Oh, I bet you are exhausted. Yeah, very tiring. All that fresh air as well. Weather wasn't too bad at the weekend, was it? Wasn't too bad. So I hope you had a really good time. Where have the last couple of years gone? It's madness, isn't it? It's madness. Right, let's get you set down. It's gone all grey out there. It looks like the heavens are going to open. Let's get you to set down on the desk. Excuse the palm of the hand while I turn you down. Oh, I keep getting a static shock off of my chair. There we go. Zoom a bit. I'm really nervous about not having Do Not Disturb on. That's because I was a little bit lastminute.com this morning. Not lastminute.com, but I was just a bit later starting my breakfast, so I was just finishing. You had a bit of rain on Sunday, Katie, so you packed up the tent early. Yeah, gosh, can't remember the days of tents. That seems a very long time ago. Okay, let's just check. I think grid paper is in good position. Let's just move my stand down a bit and get this taped down. You can see I am using the same stamps as last week, but projects are going to be totally different. They're going to look totally different. I'm still not convinced that's better. Because of the colours I'm using some different elements and doing a bit of fussy cutting as well. So from the new annual catalogue, I am using the Botanical Layers and the Sending Smiles. Love both of these. I love the Botanical Layers, but I think it's great for masculine, but I always feel when you've got foliage, you need to have some kind of flower to go with it. Quick run through. So the Sending Smiles is a bundle with dies, and you'll find that on page 14. Got some great dies that go with that. The Botanical Layers is bundled, but with the vellum. If you've caught my live before, you will have seen me show that. That's on page 93. So those are the two papers the two papers, the two stamps. Let's move those out of the way. I hope you're all going to appreciate the brightness of my colour choice today. And I will say it's thanks to Belle in my team, because I saw her on Thursday. We had a little team gathering and we did a little swap on some DSP. So this is, let me check what it's called, because it's Butterfly Kisses. Okay, so it's 6x6 paper. You are not kidding me, Katie. So far from my comfort zone. Totally scared me and took me a while to come up with these. So you get 48 sheets in here, and there's 4 each of 12 double-sided designs. Okay, so loads of sheets in there. And it does actually coordinate, you can't see all this because I've got my inks in the way, with the Butterfly Kisses suite. So we've got stamps, dies, and these gorgeous papers. Very fun, very bright. Now I've chopped into some of these and I've only got 1 sheet of each, and I will most probably be ordering my own pack. But can we just appreciate how gorgeous these are? Let's run through some of the colours. So we've got Calypso Coral, Starry Sky, Crushed Curry, Fresh Freesia, Parakeet Party, which that does scare me. I couldn't bring that in. I kept that to one side. So let's just turn them over. I think this is my no, this could be my favourite. I just love that pattern. Have I had sleepless nights, Katie? Well, I have been worried about, I mean, this side is quite bright for me. I have been worried about sharing my designs with you. I'm sure you bright lovers will love them. But how fun are they? How pretty. So we got mainly solid patterns on the reverse. I much prefer this side. And to me, the Starry Sky kind of grounds everything. But how pretty. Gorgeous combination of colours. I've lost the bag they were in. So I have pulled out So Saffron, Calypso Coral, Mint Macaron, Starry Sky, and Fresh Freesia. So lots of colour going on. And I'm going to make a start because Sophie has gone to get Archie and I've still got Alfie over here with me. So she might turn up and then we could have lots of puppy paws running around in the studio making a noise while you're all here. Right, I've just located my bag. I have done a bit of fussy cutting ahead of time for my next card, but for the first one, I'm going to go with everything as it is. So let's just lay... I mean, I'm not going to say I don't like these colours. I absolutely love them. I just find it hard to stamp with them. I find it hard to really enjoy the finished process with them. Good morning, Sarah. How are you doing? Lovely to have you join us. Sorry, just caught comments then. My MacBook is playing game today. So yeah, it's not that I don't love all of these colours. It's just I find it hard in my heart to love them as much as I do, you know, my subtles. Right, today I thought I'd do I think we call this a tent fold card, would you say? So my paper measures 4 1/8, and then when it's folded it's 5 3/4, so it's 11 1/2. So I've basically taken a sheet of A4, chopped it down the middle and taken a bit off of the end, so it's going to stand that way. Now cards don't always like to stay stood up, especially on a slippery surface this way, but of course you could always do your card that way, and I think it's just a different look, isn't it? So I've got some bits and pieces cut already. I think that's scrap. I've got a layer of mint macaron, which is 3 3/4 by 5 3/8, and then a matting layer to go over that, which is 1/8 smaller at 3 5/8 by 5 1/4. So good morning, Lucianne. How are you doing? half term for you as well. And then I've got some pieces. How lovely are these two colours together? Excuse me. I mean, completely different on the reverse. But how lovely are those patterns? Right, to start with, also going to be using the coordinating dies for the Sending Smiles stamp set, because I'm going to be using some of the flowers. And then, of course, more shapes will be used from the Stylish Shapes die set. You've really got to add this to your list. Good morning, Belle. So, Belle, you are the inspiration of my colour combo today. Totally out of the comfort zone, but thanks to you for swapping the DSP from the Butterfly Kisses set collection, suite even. It's inspired me to use them, so I went really, really brave. Hopefully you can just see the bottoms here. Right, so what I want to do is, first of all, is a little bit of die cutting. So I'm going to pull out these circles that are just so handy. I want the three, not the tiniest one, but the three next smallest. Let's pull in our plate. I'm going to lay these on, lay them down. Remember, these are like double-edged, so you've got like a stitched and a dot lovely edge on these. And I'm just going to pop them down roughly about there, maybe a bit higher. I'm not going to tape them, I'm just going to hope that they stay in place. I think that's okay. I'm going to just turn around and quickly run that through, hoping nothing moves. So just bear with me. Oh, my machine is sliding around all over the place today. So I've just cut myself, put those back, this little frame. Now, you saw me do this very recently, and I'm keeping these to one side. You saw me do this on, let me grab the card, very similar, when I created this one, and I created a mask. Do you remember? I laid a piece over like this and then used my blending brush to create a mask to add these circles to the background of that card. I'm not going to be doing that today. I'm going to be doing something else. So I'm going to put that to one side. I'm going to do a little bit of stamping, and I'm using a mixture of photopolymer and cling. So the Sending Smiles are photopolymer, and the Botanical Layers, I was going to say Botanical Bliss then, that must be an old set or something that we had, is cling. So for the photopolymer, we need, where are my scraps? I think this piece is scrap. For the photopolymer, Stampin' Up! Recommend we use a matte, foam matte, for a bit of extra sponginess. Now, I've also given my chamois a good rinse through. Believe it or not, it's had a good rinse. It still looks very grubby, but it's going to perform. So, Belle, you're loving the colour combo and you're excited to see the cards come together. I am nervous. I'm looking at the finished one, the first one, and it's okay. It's okay, but not my colours of choice. So I'll be interested to see just how much you like these colours as well. Right, to start with, I'm going to stamp in Fresh Freesia a couple of flowers. I adore these flowers from the Sending Smiles set. And I love that we do have a little stamp, which I haven't mounted. Let's find a block. This little one here. And of course we have this one and this one are all centres of flowers. Oops, I'm all fingers and thumbs today. And I'm I'm going to fill in. You can see I've been using this a lot. Love these flowers. Of course, any kind of flower would work well with the foliage in this set. Anything is going to go with it. So it is a well-loved stamp set. You know me, when you buy something, you need to use it and love it. Which shall I go next? Let's go Calypso Coral next. This is a new one. I'm gradually working my way through. I'm just going to clean that one off. Gradually working my way through each time I'm placing an order. Well, not each time, but trying to increase the new style ink pads that I have on my shelf as compared to the old ones. So just because I want my shelf to look pretty, and I do love the new ink pad. So just Calypso Coral on here, which is incredibly bright. Do I need another one? Let's do another one. So bright. And then we'll just fill in the centres of those. Oh, that was the wrong stamp. That was the wrong flower centre. So what have we all been up to? Katie, you've been at a festival for the whole weekend, which I am sure is exhausting. What do I need now? More flowers. What have the rest of you been up to? You've been using the bells and blossoms and you've used it a lot. That's good. That's great. You know, when you get something, you need to get lots of use out of it. I did use both of these stamp sets last week, but I will move on to something else next week. But you will still see stuff with them. There's just a multitude of things that can be created when you invest in some stamps, especially if you get dies with them as well. You're going to, you need to be using them. Right, next I want this flower again. And I may have a feeling that I might have cut some of these already. And I'm using the Starry Sky. Let's just clean that one off. All these ink pads out. And then just fill in the centres. I do love with photopolymer how easy it is to do things like this. Because we can see right through that stamp, right through that block. Let's put the ruler away. Right, next we need some foliage. Stack all these up here. And I love all of the foliage in here. But today I'm going to be using these two just because they were the easiest to cut out. So mint macaron, I've got a feeling actually I should have inked this, re-inked it, if my memory serves me right. So I'm going to hold it there for a minute to try and help me get a good coverage. And then same again, mint macaron in this lovely sprig. Yeah, definitely needs a re-ink, that one. And you've heard me mention before, I always recommend, I was going to save that bit for something else. If you're buying yourself a new colour ink pad, treat yourself to the re-inker. I think they're £3.50, but they're well worth having. There's nothing worse than loving a colour so much and then going to use it and it's just not quite the same. And sometimes when people come to a class, they'll see my card and then they'll stamp and then they'll realise the difference because I've re-inked an ink pad from when I've made that card and it looks like a different colour. So this is not maybe quite true mint macaron. It could be a little bit darker, but I didn't re-ink it, so that's just the way it is at the moment. Let us start with a bit of fussy cutting and I can try and catch up with your messages. You played 4 gigs at the festival, so your voice is going, Katie. Oh my gosh, I'm sure it is. Ellie, you've started swimming at Bathurst, yeah. Love that. And you're taking the children to see if they can stand the 18 degrees water. Oh, it's not the warmest out there today. I mean, it's not, I can't really say it's cold. This is quite a fiddly one to cut around, but I'm not going to be going into all of the crevices. Oops, that is not a good thing to happen. Off you get. Yeah, a bit chilly. In fact, I did, before I came over to the studio, I put the heating back on for a few hours. I leave it on till lunchtime, just to take the edge off. Not that it's really cold in our house, but it's a big old block of stone to keep warm. And once that heating goes off, it does cool down with all the, you know, the walls are so thick and it's wooden flooring and flagstone flooring. It kind of does chill down quite quickly. So, but fingers crossed, next couple of days, going to be having a bit of brighter weather. I just find when it's a bit damp outside, a little bit of heating won't hurt. Mind you, I know we have to be thinking about cost of heating at the moment. A bit of a worry for a lot, isn't it? But I can't be cold. You know, I will layer up at some points, and I always say that if you're that cold, get the hoover out. It takes me quite a long time to hoover, just downstairs over there. It's quite an area to hoover. Right, just trimming around this other leaf. Oh, goodness. It's alive. Do you know, I think also I need to get my eyes retested. The reason I'm doubting, I'm sure I didn't have them done that long ago. I am sure, but I'm definitely feeling that I can't cut out or do anything quite as close up as I used to. It's just a slight bit blurry. This getting old thing, it's no fun, is it, guys? But, you know, it happens to us all and there's nothing we can do about it, so just have to get on with it. But yeah, I really should make myself an eye appointment. So, sorry, can't read comments while I'm cutting. Let's just stop. Sarah, you've not been up to a lot. Oh, you've had food poisoning. Oh, bless you. Family off to a National Trust property. You've got to stay at home. Oh, that's not fun. That is not fun. There are some beautiful National Trust places around here. Oops. Let's cut that off. It's getting in the way. Just happened again. I'm sorry to hear that. Nothing worse than an upset tummy, is there? I'm feeling unwell. I hope that it passes real soon. Drink plenty of water and rest. Very quick bit of cutting around here. Can't actually see that bit hiding under there, but... So yeah, the weekends kind of come and go, don't they? But how lucky are we to be having a lovely long bank holiday weekend, celebrating the Jubilee. Right, I think I'm going to do a little bit of die cutting and then we'll be on our way to getting this first card together. Now, sadly, we're using all the same die and I don't know how many spares I've got. Might have to pull a couple of spares. Excuse me if you can see my arm. Out of my pot. You know I've always got a pot of backups by the side of me. Right, let's just take a bit of the tackiness off of there. Be careful with fresh washi tape because it really does stick to the cardstock and it will tear your project if you're not careful pulling it off. Ginger biscuits, that's a good one, Katie. when I was a child, we always used to have Lucozade, but we were only allowed to sip it. I guess it's the gas. Ginger biscuits worked wonders for me when I was pregnant and I had morning sickness. That was a long, long time ago. And actually they've done the same for Sophie as well. Right, just run that through. Then we'll cut a couple more. Maybe it's me that's static. Did I say earlier about keep getting a static shock off of the leg of my chair? I just had a shock off of my cutting machine then. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the static one. Yeah, ginger nut, or maybe just a dry, because when you're feeling poorly, the last thing you want to do is eat. Right. So just for reference, this little flower here, can you see you've got 3 petals that are all very close together? And then you've got 3 that are very spread apart. So if you look at your die, you can easily distinguish the 3 that are spread apart and line this one up nicely. You've been unwell since Sunday morning. Oh, and you're just starting to eat again. Well, that's good. That's good, because I don't know about you, but when I get anything, I mean, touch wood, I'm very rarely unwell, but sometimes it can knock you for 6, can't it? And really zap your energy and take you, you know, a few days to get back on your feet. So you're eating bananas and for potassium, that's good. Salted crackers and rice. And they suggest the bath diet. No idea what that one is. Not heard of that one. Right, let's just line this up. Concentrate, Kerry. Line the last one in. And then we should be good to go. A little bit more stamping of my greeting. Well, I hope you're feeling much better soon, Sarah. Because it's rotten being unwell, isn't it? Especially on half term. I'm trying to remember how old your children are. They're not that young, are they? Right, so what is next? Let me see, we've got some foliage, we've got some flowers. I think I've got all the flowers I need. Let's do our greeting, and then we've done all of our stamping out of the way. I cut myself 2 long strips of basic white, and I want to use something from here. Oh, I've got one more bit of die cutting to do, so I'm going to use the same one that I used originally, I think. A card to say hello, because that will cover all of the bases. And I'm going to ink it up in Starry Sky. Oops, had a bit of a rock and roll moment then. And how did I miss that bit? Let's have another go. This is why I cut 2 strips. Hold my breath. I have no idea if that is in the middle. Pressed a little bit hard then, but I didn't want it to miss again. But that is perfect. A card to say hello. Right, I think now we can start putting together. I'm just going to cut myself. It's this one that I want. One of these lovely little banners. I'll just run that through quickly. Just love, so I love the negative you get left. So when you're doing things like this, if you central it and tape it down, you can actually use the negative that is left, or you could even snip around this whole shape evenly so that you've got like a panel. So before you throw away your negatives, think about how you might use them. I mean, we're such hoarders, aren't we, crafters? We end up with like boxes on our desk, little trays full of all the bits and pieces that we haven't used. But the aim is then to use them, to actually use them. Challenge yourself to use what is on your desk. Right. And I do that a lot. I do that a lot. So you know that when I'm stamping, when I'm inking up a stamp, I will stamp loads, stamp a whole sheet so that I've got all these pieces on my desk, and then it's so much easier for everything to come together. Right, this lovely kind of aperture piece that I created, I want to add in my pattern papers behind this layer. So let's get the Tombow flowing. This one feels like it's low. And I'm just going to add, it's not going to go now, is it? This happened last week, didn't it? I was having to share with you how to unblock your Tombow. I was using it yesterday. The fear is you must not squeeze really hard because it will come out with a vengeance. It will just come out in a big splodge. I'm going to have to do what I did last week. So just bear with me. Always unscrew it the wrong way because it's back to front. Oop, look at that. Just let that go back in. Can you see that bit of dried up glue on the end? That's what is blocking it. It makes a mess. Take your pick tool, but you can easily wipe it off. Pop the lid back on. Give the end a wipe. And we should be good to go. There you go. Look, just a tiny little blockage. Let's lie you down because you're low. And then we're going to pop that one over there. Then this one, because we've got a directional pattern on here, I want these vines to be going vertically. So I'm going to do it from this side and just lay it like that. And then I'm going to snip off. Oh, that parakeet party is so bright. It really does scare me. Right, let's make sure that's not overhanging. And then the final one will be this lovely random spot. I was nearly going to put Tombow on the back of there then. That would be a no-no. And then we'll just pop that one over there. How beautiful do they look together? Like that. You could, of course, raise this layer on dimensionals so that there's a gap between the pattern paper and the white layer, but I already will have several layers going on my card, so I decided not to. So we're going to pop this straight down onto our mint macaron layer. And then down onto our base. Let's just make sure I have cut it the right size, yeah. Actually, what I did do, and I don't know whether there's a need, I'm going to do it because I have on my original. I popped this layer up instead. You know how I love to use my mini dimensionals. This is where the larger ones would be a little handier because you may need less of them, but I would probably use just as many large ones. We love our dimensionals, don't we? And just pop that one down. Just gives lovely bit of height. Just gives, when you add in layers, it gives so much substance to your card. I mean, it's not great for when you're posting it because it's going to cost you extra pennies, but hopefully that person that you are sending your card to is well worth those extra pennies. Right, just giving this foliage a bit of life. More dimension. I've got the sniffs now. I did wake up with the sniffs. I didn't even have the bedroom window open last night because it was a bit chilly. So that's probably why I've got the sniffs. Let's just lift that up. And pop that one under there. Right. This is where the colour begins. Let's put you away. Give these flowers a bit of curve. I think from tomorrow our weather is definitely going to be getting a bit brighter. Still not washed my greenhouse. I just don't know where. I've got a whole list of things that need to be done, just don't really get to it. Saturday we did do a bit of gardening along the back of the barn. There's like a really long patio, and we've got bamboo over there as well, which sheds like very thin, well, dead bamboo leaves everywhere down there. And the wind kind of blows it into little piles. So we did get down there and do a bit of tidying up. But it was quite windy at the weekend. And when you're sweeping up, you don't really need the wind helping you blow it back in the wrong direction. It can be rather frustrating. Next, let's pop this one on. So we did do a bit of gardening, a little bit of shopping. Actually, Saturday afternoon, we went to the Quays at Gloucester, Jason and I. Had a bit of lunch, bit of al fresco, bit of outside dining, and a coffee, which was quite nice. Just a bit of people watching the world go by. See if we can slide that under there. Unless I've stuck it too close. So I'm just popping that bit under there. And then we'll have some more foliage, more flowers even. Yeah, so Saturday we did that. Went to the Levi's shop. Oh, that's like a minefield, isn't it? Jason loves his Levi's and he likes to wear Levi's for work. But they just fade so quickly. I mean, he's got like 50 pairs. He has so many pairs of jeans. It's beyond me. I mean, who am I to judge? I have a lot of pairs of jeans. So I'm just laying these flowers down. Anyway, we went to the Levi's shop there. Got some jeans, more jeans. And then we came home. I think we lit the barbecue. Nothing special, just dinner at home. Because it was sunny, but we did have to shut the back doors out. It did get a bit chilly. The air is still cool, isn't it? Right, finally, let's pop on our greeting to this lovely little banner. Absolutely love this beautiful shapes die set. So handy. I think that is straight. It's hard to tell. And then of course we'll add some more dimension. If you are just hopping on, please do say hello. It's lovely to know who's joining us. And if you're on the replay, if you're catching me, found me on YouTube, would love for you to subscribe. I've finally just, oh, this is a bit closer than my original, finally just hit 1,000 followers on YouTube, which is a bit of a yay moment considering I was way too nervous to do Facebook Lives a couple of years ago. Stepped out of the comfort zone and here I am. I absolutely love joining you guys every week. So there we go. I left it at that. I have not put any bling on whatsoever. You like the design, Belle? Thank you. So it's kind of derived from what I was doing almost last week. We're using, let's pull one out. This was from the week before. Using the circles in this kind of trio again. So going back to, you know, working smarter, recycling your designs and using kind of what you've already got. So thank you guys. I mean, I'd like to say I love it, but I'm not sure I do. I don't hate it. It's the brightness that I think if I didn't have the Calypso coral, I wouldn't be so scared of it. My original is pretty much the same, just my circles are slightly further apart here. So I do like it. I wouldn't say I love it. I do like it. So it's very fresh, very pretty. I'm glad that kind of the paper has taken me out of the comfort zone. So let's do one more and see where we go. Look at this Starry Sky base. Now you know that I'm being brave, don't you? Now you know. You love that I think it's bright. It is, Katie. It's got orange on it. There's Calypso coral. It's bright. It's very bright in my world. I mean, last week we did this. How beautiful. That just appeals to me. When I start bringing in these bright colours, I get very, very nervous. Very nervous. So, Starry Sky base. Usual 5 3/4 by 8 1/4. Some people like to pre-score with the score tool down the middle. I don't always feel the need to do that. Sarah, you love Starry Sky. Do you know, I love it too. I really do love it. Colours are definitely growing on me. You know I love all of my greens. Love my greens, but these two together, Fresh Freesia and Starry Sky, are beautiful. And I could have just kept it at those two colours, but when you've got paper like this in front of you, you kind of want to sort of go with it and give it a try. So, Belle, is Starry Sky your new favourite in colour? Gosh, mine is definitely Orchid Oasis. It's definitely Orchid Oasis, but the others I do equally like. It's just Parakeet Party. I don't want to give it a complex, but it's just so bright. To me, it's luminous. It's luminous. So same layers as before, 3 3/4 by 5 3 on the, oh, the name has just gone out of my head. Fresh Freesia. I was going to say Wisteria Wonder then. That's a blast from the past. And then the next layer down, just an 1/8 smaller at 3 5 and 5 1/4. And what we're going to do first, I've got bits and pieces stamped and cut ready for fussy cutting on this one. So what we're going to do is take our basic white layer. I'm going to pull in my mint macaron ink. And I thought we'd use this little stamp to create kind of some background stamping, because those of you that just don't like fussy cutting, or to be fair, there's a lot of people that struggle to fussy cut. Maybe you've got arthritis or you just find it hard to fussy cut. You need to work around stamp sets like this and create layers onto your base. So I'm going to start with some foliage at the top. Another one, remember I needed to re-ink this, that's why I'm like tapping in it. Oh, and I'm saying that, and now I'm thinking, I had Vivi here yesterday. Vivi's my eldest granddaughter. She's just 4, and we were watching Belle on her live. And she was stamping as well. She's got some of my old ink pads, and she's got a couple of stamp sets. And she was pressing, I'm not kidding, she had a stamp on her block. She put the stamp on and she had both hands on and she was pressing down onto the stamp. So I said to her, Vivi, you don't need to press so hard into the ink. And I said to her, you need to just tap, 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 and then stamp. Bless her heart. So the next time I was sat next to her crafting myself, I was creating some tags actually, and without me saying anything, she picked up the stamp, she took it to the ink pad, and she repeated what I'd said. She said, tap, 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 and then she popped it down onto her white cardstock, and then she said, stamp. Bless her little heart. She is such a sweetheart. She loves to craft. She loves to craft. And actually, Belle, she asked me if you were a real person. She said, is Belle real? Is she a real person? I said, yes, she definitely is. I said she was here in my studio last week. So I'm just filling in some of this foliage. Don't be frightened by the mess that's happening in the middle, because we're going to cover that up. So I've kind of overlapped with this. I know, she is so sweet, Belle. She was over here I only had her yesterday afternoon, just had Vivi, so promised her that we would get to craft, just the 2 of us. So that was what we did. So I'm going to pop that to one side for a moment. Check in my little pot. Look at this. What I need. The birds are in full song again this morning. Have I got a better one than that? Can you see where I needed to re-ink? That one will do. We want a couple of flowers. Got all sorts of colours going on in here. What else do we want? A fresh freesia. We need a couple of those. I just thought, I don't really like doing the Blue Peter. I might need one more in fresh freesia. The Blue Peter thing, but you don't want to sit and watch me die cutting, because there's only one die for this flower. It could just be a little bit laborious. I need another one of those. Actually, I don't need that one. I need that one. So I need to just cut that one out. We'll just put the centre in. Yeah, so Vivi was sat making cards for a couple of friends at school. She always loves to make the envelope or decorate the envelope with lots of bling, and she always seals it down. She's got a Pritt stick and she's got a tape runner, and she always seals the envelope down. But yeah, and she's writing her name now, which is so sweet. Right, I just need a scrap of Starry Sky. I don't have many scraps of this. Just need a very little bit. And then in the sending dies, we've got this lovely little duo. She also said something else about you when you were putting a heart on. She was like repeating what you said you were going to do. And she was repeating, she was telling me what you were doing, bless her heart. So yeah, we had a fun afternoon. I gave her dinner, gave her a bath, and then took her back around 7. And actually she was asleep by the time we got home. I got her home. She's such a sweetheart. Mind you, at the age of 4, it's like having another adult in the house. She is just so grown up. But I can remember when she was born and saying, I cannot wait until she's old enough to craft with me in my studio. And here we are. Right, I'm going to run those through, and don't think I need anything else then. I've got everything ready. I see sunshine. How long it will be there for, nobody knows. I do like it when we have a bit of rain at night because it means that I don't have to go down and water the veg garden. Not that I'm saying that in a lazy kind of way, because I do enjoy doing it, but you know, when you're tired in the evenings, when you get to my old age and these hormones do things to your body, you get tired by 8 o'clock, and then the thought of having to go down, and I'm using all the water butts at the moment, so I don't want to, I won't use the tap, the hose pipe, until my water butts are completely empty. I will use every bit of water that I can from them. And it takes time filling the watering can between each, you know, load. Load, is that the right word? No, I don't think it is, but hello Zana, how are you doing? Just popped up on my notifications. Right, have I got everything I need? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2 little ones, a little bit more stamping. Right, on this card, I'm going to pull in, do you remember these pieces? They were the leftovers from these circles that I cut. And I also need one more that I've done earlier. So I'm just going to stamp, I can move that away now. Off you go. Bit of washi tape left on that one, and I've pulled in the thinking of you sentiment, so it's from the botanical layers, and I love the greetings in here, but I've just pulled in the thinking of you. I'm a complete live wire. My dad tells me I need to slow down, but you know what it's like, there's always something to do, isn't it? I never really take a lot of time for me. I feel there's always something to be done around here. But maybe over the bank holiday, if we get on top of the gardening, might actually get to sit down and chill. Right, let's just have a look how this is mounted on my block. It's very low to the bottom of the rubber. I don't know how straight it is. Let's have a practice run. This is very well used. Let's just line up. I know I'm working on a circle, so it doesn't really matter. So it is just very low. I'm going to stamp on here, but we don't want it to be too crooked. That will do nicely. Zana, you're okay, but you're a bit tired. Oh, you had a helicopter hovering around between 2 and 3 a.m. We had one of those a few months ago, and it was like circling our house, and it had, you know, those huge, I don't know what they're called, but those huge, really strong lights that kind of, they were lighting up the whole of the garden. They were obviously looking for somebody, but they were hovering for ages, and they were so low. We were in bed, and we opened up the Velux blinds to watch it. It was interesting to watch, but so noisy, so noisy. Right, first of all, let's mount these 2 layers together. Yeah, enough to keep you awake. I hope you managed to get back off after. That's my problem quite often, although I will say lately I think I'm in a bit of a habit of waking up. I either wake up at 1 and 3 and then 5, and by 5 I'm wide awake, or I wake at 2 and 4 and then 5. Touch wood, I've been going back off like the early ones. It's normally just 5 o'clock I'm awake. So there's nothing worse than when you wake at 2 a.m. and then your brain goes into overdrive. You start thinking about everything you don't need to be thinking about. It's annoying. Okay, I've just mounted that up. That looks very messy in the middle, doesn't it? But Katie, you'd be worried there was someone in the garden. Yeah, do you know, we did have that thought, but I mean, our garden's a fair size, but this light that was coming down was lighting up the whole of the garden. but he was circling from here and going down to the garage. So looking for somebody. Okay, what do I need to do first? Right, let's start with adding in these circles. So they're going straight down onto my base. Well, this first one is. How low do I want that? I have no idea. We need to hide the overlaps here. So I think that'll be fine. Pop one there. I'm not going to press it down too firmly because I need to pop this one underneath. Both of those. Probably about there. Alf is snoring away under the table. I'm surprised you can't hear him. This microphone on my phone is just so sensitive. And then this one here, got something on there. Be covered over. We'll pop some dimensionals on. I mean, that's not over excessive with my dimensionals, is it? And then, oh, this is looking a bit different to my original. I think it'll be all right though. Don't think it really matters. Maybe that one is just a bit high. Yeah. Don't look, I'm pulling it. I'm pulling and twisting, so it shouldn't tear. I want it a little bit lower. There. And then that one is going to go just there. So I've just layered these circles over that foliage here, hidden all the nasty bit in the middle. And we're just going to pop a bit of Tombow on there and lay that one straight down on. Back is definitely aching today as well. Of course, on Sunday it was the Formula One, so not a lot happened in the afternoon. I did get all of my ironing done, which was good. Right, we're just going to layer these flowers up. I'm going to put one of these on a dimensional. Oops. And just pop it, hovering over that edge just to hide that join of the stem of the leaf. What colour have we got? Fresh freesia. And then we'll just pop those two down. And then the other two are going to go down at the bottom. Share that bit of Tombow. Pop those two down there, and then these little ones. He's gone for a wander now. Pop one over here. Let's just curl them up a bit. Give those a minute to stick. Because they've got the hole in the centre, you need to make sure that you're catching some of the Tombow at least. And then I will pop a bit of bling in those. I say bling, pearls. And also, just to finish, I love this little dotty stamp, which is good for using on the centres of your flowers, but it's also really great for white space. Now I'm going to be really gentle, tapping really gently. I don't want to get any extra ink on my block, because this is where your card could go totally pear-shaped when you either press too hard and you get the outer part of your stamp, or you could rock and get ink that's got on your block onto your card. So I'm just very gently. And what I mean by that is this: if you press really hard into your ink pad, you've got ink all the way around that red rubber. And if you press down hard, that is what happens. So if you continuously get edges of stamps on your projects, it means you are pressing too hard. So think of me and Vivi when we go tap, 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 and then we gently stamp, and then you will get a much crisper, prettier image. Right, so to finish, we'll just pop a couple of pearls on here. Got some rogue ones here, but I think I want the smaller ones. Oh, I'm gonna have to add another pack of these. I'm on my last bit of putty in here. I've just squeezed that last bit out. I've got a new one ready to go in. So you buy these, I think they either come in a pack of 2 or 3. I want to say 3, and they just like screw in here. I'm going to need to add on some more pearls to my order today. So it's the end of the month, order going through, and then I'm doing another order tomorrow, which sounds a bit crazy. So there, card is done. Definitely need to re-ink the mint macaron. Let's make some room. I have got another card, but I'm not going to do it with you. But I've got some other things to show. Let's do up these inks. Let's not hold it over the card. Remember last week I nearly dropped it on the finished card. Yeah, so tomorrow is the 1st of June. Somewhere I have just got ink on my finger. Just take that off with a wet wipe. Always got a wet wipe handy when I'm crafting. When you're opening and closing inks, that's the most common time that you're probably going to get ink on your fingers. Beautiful. Beautiful colours. So there's my original. Pretty much the same. Bring the others. So what was I saying? Yes, tomorrow, let me grab my catalogue. We will be getting a last chance list for products that are retiring from this catalogue. Okay, so there's a fabulous list. It will be going out on an email to all of my customers later, ready for tomorrow. There are, I've marked in here, so I best not open this one, but up to 50% off a lot of products in there. Sad to see so many things going, but of course, you know, we've already seen the new catalogue. We've seen what is making its way in. I'm going to give you a peek of the last card that I did make with this one. Using the brick wall, is it called? Brick and mortar. So this embossing folder. So a bit more of the Calypso coral in that one. So as a set, full of brightness. I'm sure you would agree. So what I wanted to show you though was what else I did. Let's move these away. So if we go with this one, this would be a colour that would make me happy. So exactly the same card, but more in my colours. So this is my lovely colour combo of Flirty Flamingo, Sweet Sorbet, Old Olive and Soft Seafoam. So exactly the same card, different colours, just put together. The same but different. And then I did this one as well in exactly the same card, just different colours. Of course, I've used the rhinestones for the centres of the flowers, so there's nothing stopping you popping in anything instead of using that stamp. But those would have been my colours of choice, or even more subtle. So I hope you have enjoyed what I would say were some bright projects. Bright projects for me. Right, other thing I just need to talk to you about very quickly before I go is also tomorrow we have beginning a buy one, get one 50% off sale on our kits. Okay, which is super exciting. So it's for the whole of June. You know how great our kits are if you've had them before. Sarah, you like to see the contrast? Yeah, I was just intrigued to see those designs done in those colours. I mean, I would love to recreate them in these colours as well. So just with the greens and the fresh freesia, I would love to recreate them. And I will, probably will. I've got the designs. I've still got loads of flowers and foliage cut, so definitely. But yeah, so we've got the buy one, get one 50% off sale on the kits. So a really great offer. That's for the whole of June. It's the last day. Oh, I'll talk of kits first. I printed these off, but they've come out really rubbish. We've got 2 new card kits coming. Can't really see what's in them, so you'll need to go online and have a look. But we've got the kindness card kit, which is available now, I believe. And we've also got the new Robot Buddies card kit. It says it's a kids card kit. I don't have it. I don't know how easy it is to put together, but it looks fun. So you need to go on to the website and have a look at those in closer details. So that starts tomorrow, okay? Buy one, get one at half price, which is a great offer. We've got lots of kits available, so lots of kits. So go over and have a look. And I think that's about it. I'm not going to re-show class kits that I've got coming up, because I showed those last times. But if you wanted any kits in the post, or you're thinking of coming to an event, maybe you've just come across me and you've realised that I'm local, head over to my website, kerrytims.co.uk, click on the classes and events tab, and you will then be directed to a calendar. So just scroll over to next month to see what's going on, and in July, and you can actually book direct from there. But if you prefer not to, if you want to get in touch with me, you can do that as well. So I hope you've enjoyed my projects today. I'd like to say these colours were growing on me, but I'm not sure they are as a collection. I will also say about the DSP, so you've seen me share quite a lot. This is the new In Colour DSP pack. Now we can get these in all of our colour families. I still have a ton of the subtles in the old style. I won't be frightened to use this on here because it's still, the colours haven't retired, the colours are the same, it's just the pattern, and I need to use them up. So you will notice, I didn't use it on here, but I could have used it. I could have used the soft sea foam on this one as my pattern paper. So I know you can't actually purchase this pattern, but you can still purchase the pack that has all the colours in, but it will just have these different patterns on, which are beautiful, aren't they? Really great patterns, floral, stripes, spots, plaid, lovely. Right, too much waffle going on. It's time for a coffee and a clear up, and then I've got loads of work to be getting on with. Not seeing the grandchildren today, seeing them again tomorrow, so I need to get stuck in today and get some jobs ticked off the list. So thank you all for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed the projects. I hope you like the colour combo. As I said, it was pulled from this lovely pack of papers, which I've been cutting into. So yeah, I think I'll be adding a whole pack of this to my order later. So right, I will see you all very, very soon. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy half-term week. Get yourselves out and about and have some fun. So I will catch up with you very soon. So bye for now.